EA Sports, within the game.
The folks at Kansas City take us to kickoff.
What's up, all the Smoke family? This is my Chiefs preview. We're going to take a look at my Season 2 team before we get good and started. We'll play later on today against the Denver Broncos for our first game. And as you see, we are going into a new stadium at the new Arrowhead, which is going to be a fun thing to see. But as we get ready to get started, let me take you down a quick look at the roster post-draft and free agency. Let me let it come up on the screen. we made a lot of interesting turnover on the team. Of course, Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback. I'm going to go to the quarterback situation first. Just want to give you a little rundown of what the roster looks like right now. Patrick Mahomes is still my starting quarterback. Of course, I considered trading him in the offseason, but I love working with a elite quarterback for once, so gonna rock out with him and see what happens. The backup quarterback is rookie Sean Clifton out of Penn State. Decided to bring in a decent backup. He's probably never going to start on the team, but you always want to have that backup just to try out from time to time. He's definitely not going to start here, but he's going to get an opportunity to be on a good team. Moving on to the running back situation, this is where the big splash is going to come into play. So, excuse me for my alarm going off. But Kenneth Walker, the rookie, the second-year guy out of Michigan State, is the running back for the Chiefs now. We did a trade. Shout out to Finley and the Seahawks organization. They were looking to get a first-round pick for the draft, and we ended up getting a trade where we sent him for a first-round pick to bring him in, and he's going to be our starting running back. Looking forward to working with the guy in Kansas City. He's a really, really high-speed, dominant running back. To back him up is going to be rookie J.J. Davis out of Norfolk State. A lot of people may not have heard of him. He is a HBCU back. He's a change the pace back, and we are definitely upgrading the level of speed on this team for Season 2 for sure. And the third string running back, you all probably have heard of Bijan Robinson, but his backup running back, Roschon Johnson, had a pretty good year for the Texas Longhorns as well. And we're bringing them in. There's going to be they're going to all get snaps on this team. Kenneth Walker's going to be the premier back, but all three is going to get featured on the team. Moving on to the fullback situation. Bringing in Kyle Farley out of LSU, the 24-year-old fullback. We upgraded this position as well. We got a person that can actually pass block and can create the next level of creating a run for us in open lane. So look forward to working with him as well. Moving on to the receiver position, this is going to be an interesting change for Season 2. We have Drake London, who is the starting receiver. Atlanta traded with us first season, and we still have him on the team. He will still be featured in this offense. But moving down to the number 2 guy, who's going to be listed as number 1 on my depth chart, is Shaquan Davis, the rookie out of South Carolina State. he is going to be he's going to probably be my feature receiver. He's basically your baby Megatron. I'm going to build him and see what happens with him. Moving on to wide receiver number 3 is going to be it's going to be Kashmir Allen out of UCLA. He's a 5'9" rookie, pretty explosive as well. So we got a lot of upgraded speed in this position. The fourth receiver going down to him as it come up on the screen, he's really the veteran of this receiving core, is Scotty Miller, the fourth-year guy out of Bowling Green State. You all probably remember him playing with Tom Brady in Tampa. He's going to be our other feature receiver. And last but not least, moving down to wide receiver 5 is going to be, letting it come up on the screen, Keelan Stokes, the receiver out of Michigan. He was a undrafted pickup, so going to get a chance to work with him. Going to be fun. Moving on to the tight end position, this is probably one of the deepest tight end rooms in all the smoke. The starter is going to be Michael Mayer, the rookie out of Notre Dame. As you know, he was highly respected for college football last season. Moving down to my second tight end is going to be, let him come up on the screen, it's going to be Kamari Avery II. As you see, he earned a X factor through the draft. He's going to be wide receiver, tight end number 2, but he may end up getting tight end 1 reps as well. And then my third string tight end is Theo Johnson out of Oregon. They don't have his college listed on here, unfortunately, but he's going to also get featured in the office as well. As you see, he had a superstar trait coming out of the draft. So the plethora of weapons in the pass attack is different compared to the first season. Moving on to the left tackle situation. We still are working with Brian Balaga. He was age reduced. If you have never played in the Madden League, we do have a option where you can reduce certain people's age back to as rookies, maybe 20 or 21. So he got a lot of upgrades, and he is a 90 overall. He's going to definitely be big as far as pass block on the left side. Left guard position is going to be held down by, I'm up on the screen, going to be held down by John Michael Smith, the left guard. He's actually a center from Minnesota. I moved him to left guard because I actually have a center in place for the Chiefs in Creed Humphrey. So we're going to move on to the next position, which is going to be Creed Humphrey. Oh, by the way, I have a rookie backing up Smith as well, undrafted. Creed Humphrey got a superstar upgrade in the offseason. He made the Pro Bowl, won best offensive lineman of season number 1 in all the smoke. And he has a backup center and an undrafted free agent as well. So he'll just definitely get a chance to get reps and develop in this scheme. Moving on to the right guard position. As you see, he was an award winner last year. It's going to be right guard Trey Smith out of Tennessee. This is his 3rd season. He's been a solid right guard. He has a backup right guard as well that came in undrafted free agency. We basically got them some solid backups in the event that they aren't up to standard as they usually are, which they should be. And moving on to the last position, which is the right tackle position. Now, this may be where the tackle battle might come into place. As you see, I brought in veteran Taylor Lewan out of 9-year guy out of Michigan, used to be for the Titans. But I have coming up behind him, I drafted right tackle Jalen Duncan out of the University of Maryland, and he is a day 1 starter projected. So Taylor Lewan could potentially be on the block at some point this season. So if you want to go after him, if you're in the league and you're watching, I have no problem with that. Just get with me on that. But moving along to the defense, is going to be left end Boogie Basham. He had a solid first season in Kansas City, and he's been just developing over time. And he has a backup in rookie out of Clemson, KJ Harry. I'm letting him come up on the screen so you guys can get a chance to see him. He was also a undrafted free agent. We brought him in to get an opportunity to thrive in the Kansas City defensive line. Moving on to right end, there's another position where we are still coming with the guy from last season. It is Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker made the Pro Bowl. He had almost 13 sacks in his first season in Kansas City. So he's going to be the premier pass rusher for this team with rookie out of TCU, Dylan Horton, as his backup. So going to be the same guys in place, but they got solid depth behind them now, like they didn't have in the first season. Moving on to the D tackle position. This is one of the biggest changes. Justin Houston, he gained an X factor. He had 15 sacks last year at D tackle. He was an incredible player for us. We brought him back, AR'd him. Of course, he spent a lot of his prime years in Kansas City. We also returned, let me come up on the screen, Emmanuel Ogba, who was at one point a right end in Miami. I felt that he was more of a D tackle in my scheme, so I moved him to D tackle. Also backing them two guys up is going to be Milton Williams, who's the third-year guy or second-year guy out of Louisiana Tech. He was with the Eagles. We scooped him up late in free agency. And then the fourth guy is going to be Isaiah McGuire, the D tackle out of the University of Missouri. He was a solid D tackle for him during the regular season last year, and we're going to give him a chance to really thrive in Kansas City. Now, moving on to the linebacker position, we did add some pieces here, but like I said, we kind of have certain guys that are still here. Like, for example, Troy Anderson upgraded to a superstar, had a solid rookie season, and he is still starting in Kansas City. His backup is going to be D. Winters, who absolutely had an outstanding college football playoffs for TCU. He's going to come in and be the backup to Troy Anderson. Moving on to the middle linebacker position, is still going to be the same there as well. We are working with Foye Oluokun for the second year in a row. He, of course, produced well in the Chiefs defense, and he's going to have rookie Noah Taylor out of North Carolina backing him up. Once again, like I said, these guys, those two positions are starters still, but they got solid backups now, which is kind of what we did with the theme of this team in a lot of ways. Now, the right side linebacker got an immediate upgrade and a lot of changes at that position. Demario Overshown was drafted to be the right side linebacker. He can also be interchangeable as a DN at times, and he has a solid backup in rookie Michael Barrett out of the University of Michigan. So we are basically giving the opportunity for the youth movement that is going to take over in Kansas City is going to continue at that position. Now, corner, the depth is a lot different from last year at the corner position. Let's move on to the corner position. Pro Bowler L'Jarius Sneed is still anchoring at cornerback one. He's going to be re-signed this offseason. Now, in the free agency, we went and we picked up James Bradbury the fourth, who played for the defending NFC champion Saints in the league last season. He is a solid corner. I do think we will be moving him, though, with that being said. So he is a potential guy that if anyone want to come after him, you are welcome to. We also lucked up and got a major steal in the free agency after the draft and brought in Avonte Maddox, the fifth-year corner out of Pittsburgh. He's been playing for the Eagles for a while. So we got a lot of unexpected depth this offseason. And the fourth corner on the team right now is William Jackson III. William Jackson III was the second corner opposite side of L'Jarius Sneed first season. They was the part of the number 3 pass defense in the league last year, and it got better at this position. Now, our first draft pick of the 2023 draft was Dejon Warren, the corner out of Jackson State. As you see, high-speed guy. I'm going to be getting a chance to build him and potentially turn him into a solid player in this scheme. And then the other two corners are just guys that we did scoop up late. One of them was Noah Daniels out of TCU. He's going to get a chance to get some reps here and there. And then the last one was the corner out of Illinois, which is Darrell Luda Jr., who is going to also get an opportunity to get some reps at corner. So again, the depth at corner is deep. Like I said, if you are interested in trading for James Bradberry, he can be moved. Now the free safety position got a major change throughout this offseason. Deonte Banks, which is in real life a corner, he was at one point getting safety opportunities in this draft. He's going to be the free safety for the Chiefs this season. And he got Obi Melifonwu, who was the starter strong safety last season, backing him up. So again, still some depth at safety. You got a solid veteran backing you up to help you out. Now moving on to the strong safety position. Now this could be the battle, although I'm going to tell you personally as the coach, I'm going to be starting Christian Young, the 6'3", 222 safety out of Arizona. As you see, solid player overall. I just need to really work on building him. But he got a solid backup in Damani Richardson, the safety out of Texas A&M, who could challenge him for the starting position. But I do plan on having Christian Young as starter in week 1. So gonna be fun to see. And of course, still kicking for the Chiefs is veteran Harrison Butker. He's gonna come up on the screen shortly. He's still a solid kicker. I'm gonna be working with him again as well. And we got a big shocking upgrade at punter. Gonna let it come up on the screen. And this actually came out of undrafted and the free agency in week 1 of preseason. Bryce Behringer, the superstar punter out of Michigan State, definitely liked the fact that we were able to get some depth there for the long term at punter. So every position counts on this team. This is the breakdown of my roster. Let's take a look at my schedule and see what do I think we can do with the upcoming season. First week, as you see, we are playing Parker Henderson in the Denver Broncos in the new Arrowhead. Gonna be a fun matchup. I need to step it up and win this game because it's gonna be key to get an early week 1 win. And who don't want to open up the stadium with a win? Week number 2, you got Shed Law and the Raiders coming to town. Gonna try to get to, if I can get the first win, try to get the 2-0 in the AFC West. It'd be huge to get 2 division wins early on. Week number 3, we're going to be on the road for the first time, going to play Aaron Battle and the Minnesota Vikings. That should be another one that the Chiefs need to step it up and get. They need to get as many key wins early because you don't want to get yourself behind the 8 ball at all. Week number 4 is going to be a really, really tough matchup in Kansas City. You got Coach Frank/Nick Green coming in with them Lions who wanted the NFC North last season. Going to be a 4-15 start against the Lions. So look forward to playing them. Week number 5, we're going to go back on the road and play against Zarius Keys and those Washington Commanders. They should be a tough one. He's a solid user. His team just wasn't fitting him last season. So that's going to be something to pay attention to. Week 6, the game that everybody likes to look forward to is basically the brother matchup. Myself going against Tev and those Chargers. Week 6, they got a Monday night game at LA. So that should be a fun matchup. That's going to be one of the major tests, especially in the division. As you see, I got 4 division games in the first 7 weeks. Week number 7, you get another matchup in Vegas against Shed Law and the Las Vegas Raiders. So going to be key to get us off to a solid start. And then we got a week 8 bye, and then we move on to week number 9. I'm going to let it come up on the screen. And some of the games, we get a couple of really good games in there. We go to New York and play the Jets, play Ryan Burns and the Jets. Look forward to see what he's done with that team this offseason. Week number 10 is going to be probably our toughest matchup this season, in my personal opinion, which is going to be against EJ Morris and the Miami Dolphins. That offense is absolutely loaded. You got Jalen Waddle, Cooper Kupp, you got Tyreek Hill, you got a solid running back, Kane Wanyu, who's even building. So that team is going to be tough. Then the following week, we come back home. We get the Cincinnati Bengals, who made it to the divisional playoffs last season, but lost to the eventual Super Bowl champs, Baltimore Ravens. So it should be another fun matchup in Kansas City. Look forward to see. They gave us a beatdown first season. Look forward to see how an improved roster is going to fare for this team in season number 2. Week number 12, we go to, let me let it come up on the screen. We get our rematch of the week 1 game against Parker and the Broncos in Denver. So should be an interesting matchup to watch. He, again, like I said, he was out due to personal reasons last season. So look forward to seeing him get a chance to actually compete this year. And week number 13, we get a chance to host the Kansas City Chiefs, to host the LA Chargers in Kansas City. So that should be a fun matchup as well. And then following 2 weeks, you got 2 playoff teams from last season. The first one is in week 14. You go to Green Bay and play Ty Ellison and the Green Bay Packers. Going to be intriguing to see how that team fares in the second season. Week 15 is going to be a big matchup as well. We're going to go on the road to Jacksonville to take on Buddy Buckets and the Jaguars. If you know you've been having those great streams out, make sure you follow his content on YouTube. This team made the playoffs last year. I expect them to be tough and going to have to be ready for that game. Week number 16, we start our first of final 3 games at home. Week 16, we're going to get Julio Grind Time Hash and the New England Patriots at home. So gotta find a way to get these wins when we can. Week number 17, we're going up against Coach Real Pressure and those Chicago Bears, who's another person who had to step out due to personal leave. I expect that team to be in the playoffs or the playoff hunt at worst this season. And week number 18, the last game of the regular season, is going to be against Tyreek Johnson and everyone calls the Super Bills. I'm going to call them those tough Bills. We lost to them last season. And I expect that team to still be tough. They went 12-5 and missed the playoffs via tiebreaker. So I expect that team to be playing their hearts out by that time of the season. So it's going to be a tough one. I look forward to the challenge of season 2. I look forward to seeing if we can improve off of our 9 wins from last season. So should be a fun one in Kansas City. I look forward to everyone getting a chance to tune in and see what I do with these Chiefs in this season, because the goal is to make the playoffs. We didn't make the playoffs last year. We only won 9 games. We look to make these playoffs going forward because we've done a lot of work. But one thing that I would like to go ahead and do is show one last thing before we get out of here and show that we've been kind of putting ourselves in position to get ready for the draft this offseason as well. So this is a 3-year process for this team. So as you see, we got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks, and our 4th, 5th, and 6th. So we are still, although we are playing to compete again this year, you are still in the process of putting the best roster around you long term. So we're gonna do that. So hey, root my Chiefs good luck for everyone that's gonna be tuned in. We're gonna have Chiefs reports going on. We didn't get a chance to finish last season, but once again, this has been your Chiefs report. This is Coach Nate checking off. And hey, wish my boys luck this year because it's gonna be a fun one. So till next time, this has been your Chiefs report preview seasons 2 and all the smoke. Get ready, lock in, guys, and we will see you when we hit the field. So go Chiefs. Good evening, everyone.
EA Sports within the game.